Hello everyone, my name is Sandhya Shenoy and I am here today at Motherhood with my gynecologist Dr. Madhushri Vijaykumar, who has also delivered my two beautiful babies.
Dr. Madhushri Vijaykumar is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist at Motherhood Hospital and has nearly 20 years of experience. She has delivered over 8,000 babies. Her interest lies in high-risk pregnancy, reproductive endocrinology and fertility care with special interest in natural birth and promoting normal vaginal deliveries. She has extensive experience in working in India, Australia and United Kingdom and is involved in teaching and training postgraduate doctors for appearing for the MRCOG examinations. She has several publications to her credit as well.
So we are here to talk about sustainable menstruation, menstruation in general, plastic-free menstruation, and we are going to have this as a series. Let's go on to have this communication with Dr. Madhushri.
Thank you, Sandhya, for the introduction. I'm Dr. Madhushri Vijaykumar, Consultant Obstetrician and Gynecologist at Motherhood Hospitals, Hebbal.
Coming to the products that are currently in the market, which is for menstruation, you have sanitary napkins from different brands, you have tampons. You may have still families who are using cloth, but they might be using regular cloth. And we have new things that have come into the market. But before I go into those new things, you already spoke about the cloth part, which is dried in the dark room.
Yeah.
You already told us about the plastic sanitary napkins, which is 90% plastic. We have tampons, which many women are hesitant to use because it leads to insertion into your vagina, and many people are even having that taboo to talk about
Yes.
it. Talk even about the word "we."
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Which I just did.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, which I just did.
Yes.
So now, even when we're talking about plastic-free menstrual periods, we're talking about menstruation cups, which go inside, organic tampons, which have to go inside. I myself, as a girl, never ventured into it until I had an issue, and I was advised by a gynac to use that. So, can we just talk about the products that are there?
Right. Okay, see on a bird's eye view, I would probably just tell the important available products in the market. The menstrual cloth, if rightly used, which we will discuss in detail again, is one of the very, very important method of sustainable menstruation. The second most, my favorite, is the menstrual cup, because I am encouraging my daughter to use it. So that's a very, very important, eco-friendly, the most eco-friendly available one. The third one is the menstrual pad. So it's a little expensive when compared to your cloth, but it is really good. Then the other one is the menstruation panties. So which you use it only during your cycles, and then you go back to your other the regular panties what you wear one. The tampons I would probably discuss towards the end of all our sustainable menstruation, because initially, as you rightly said, tampons, as soon as you speak, the only tampons people know is what is available in the market. And whether you use a tampon or a sanitary napkin, the plastic is the same. Okay, unless you ask for an organic cotton tampon, the tampons what is available is the shorter version of the sanitary napkin. The outer layer, inner layer, the polyvicryl gluten what is there inside is all the same. So basically it is a minimized sanitary napkin. So I would probably keep it in the end of my list of sustainable menstruation products, basically because unless you specify it as organic cotton tampons, it doesn't come in the sustainable menstruation. It is same as the sanitary napkin. Okay. So yeah, but lot of research and development has been made for to keep it as low cost, effective, sustainable menstrual product, keeping in view of the bamboo, the jute, so many things available where they can actually come out of it some sort of product. But out of all the list, my top list would be the menstrual cloth as well as the cup.
Conventional sanitary napkin, which is available in the market from various price points. We have pads which are like 3 to 4 rupees per pad, up to pads which are around 15 to 20 rupees per pad. I know as a mother now and as a daughter back then, it was very difficult to convince my own mother to get me a sanitary napkin, because I wanted to switch, because all my friends in school were switching. And you have the worry of leakage So that was the trigger point, saying that I'm staining, I want a proper napkin, you buy me a sanitary napkin against the will of my father. So now for people who are just venturing and buying the first sanitary napkin when the girl attains puberty, and to all those mothers there who are now looking at, you have products which are with wings, without wings, and long and extra duty. So if we have to talk about people who are bleeding more, girls who are bleeding less, girls who have uncertain periods, the most go-to immediate product is buy a napkin and give the child. So can you just tell us more about the conventional sanitary napkin, what effect it has on our planet right now? I have a small baby, and I recently learned that you can even cut a pad and keep the plastic separate. You can compost
Segregate,
cotton, segregate that waste. I also recently learned that the way of disposal of the sanitary napkin is a major
Very
concern.
important, yes.
You are putting it with normal dry waste. Waste segregation is something that's recently come into our city, and even if it has been there for the last 3-4 years or a little more, we are not segregating waste, right?
Correct.
We also are advised to first wash the napkin, then put it in a paper, then put it in a cover and mark it red.
Correct.
This is the new
Correct.
rule of BBMP,
Correct.
which I was not aware of.
Right.
And just like me, there are thousands out there who do not know it.
Right.
So can you just give us more about the conventional?
Yeah, very, 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 very relevant question, Sandhya. The reason is the conventional sanitary napkin, as we started our discussion today, even the pharmacy guy where we go and pick up our sanitary napkin, I mean, we do have a lot of stores now where we can pick up ourselves. But when we were going to the pharmacy to pick up the sanitary napkin, we were, when we say that, he would probably pick up from the top shelf, give it, put it in a paper, put it in a black cover, and then hand it over. So everybody knew that is a sanitary napkin, but still a lot of secrecy were around that point of view. Then you come and hand it over, and then you to your daughter, or to myself if I have to use. Now the question is, where are you going to throw it? So once you have used, because that's easily available everywhere, literally everywhere, you have to understand that once you have thrown it into the dustbin, your responsibility doesn't end there. That actually, who is going to touch, where is it going to go, who is going to do the remaining part of making sure it is not filling up our earth. So there are so many steps involved. So our responsibility doesn't end there. I think as a responsible citizen, you should know where your pad is going to go through. So now the Paurakarmika person who is actually picking it up shouldn't be mixing things with other things as well. So probably if it is wrapped in that plastic cover which comes with it along, she's going to put it in somewhere, and that is going to go to the landfill, and it remains, and it doesn't degrade for centuries along. But I have heard some women actually flushing it out in the toilet. So as you know, the pad is made in such a way that it is supposed to absorb more and more water. So by the end of the drain, when it goes, it's going to block your sewage somewhere. The person who is actually going to come and clear the sewage is going through the contamination again. So you should not just think about yourself. You should also think about the person who is handling that waste. And the other important thing is putting it to the ocean. So poor marine life is getting disturbed and altered of our irresponsibility. So if you pay a little attention, the way you buy your sanitary napkin and the way you use, put little effort the way you dispose it as well. So as you rightly said, leave it in a paper cover. Make sure you have squeezed out all the blood in how much ever it is possible. And then you put it in a cover and you make a red dot and put it in a wet waste. Yeah, and then they will know that where it is supposed to go, rather than segregating that. So then they will know that this is what it is and where it is supposed to go and how you degrade it and things like that, which will be carried on to the next level, because the education is now not only this, the education is even going to those workers who are involved in disposal.
So coming to that point,
yeah.
We recently had one of the BBMP workers tell our apartment president that the women of your apartment don't know where to put the sanitary waste. We have a separate bin of sanitary waste disposal where diapers and sanitary napkins should go to that bin.
Okay.
Still we have people putting it in the regular bin.
waste.
So this is the state of mind of educated city people.
Exactly.
And we don't know what's the state of other people who do not have associations or do not have designated bins to put their
Correct.
sanitary waste.
Correct.
So all that just goes into dry waste,
Correct.
and the wet waste thing is a little surprising because recently I even heard about period plant, the gel of
Yes.
the sanitary napkin.
Yes.
You have these brands which are
Eco-friendly.
yes, brands who are claiming that, you know, take our pad, pay 15 rupees per pad. You can remove the gel, put it in a plant pot, and you can have something called a period
plant. Yeah.
Do you have
So-
something to
yeah,
say?
so this is what we call as composting. So my daughter is actually getting involved with these things. So you buy a period pad which is an eco-friendly, which is biodegradable to a larger extent. I wouldn't say 100%, but to a larger extent. You take out that part and then you make sure you are keeping it in a safe environment, leave it to sun dry, and then you start planting. Actually, the plants are growing. So this is what we call as period plants. You are actually helping the environment in a way. You are reducing the menstrual waste onto the Mother Earth. Also, you are helping afforestation.